I'm so excited to be here with you guys because I have a big announcement, and that is myself, my team, in our office. We have been fortunate enough to be able to get our first COVID vaccine. Hope you guys all can get your vaccine soon so that we can all move forward and continue to hustle, continue to get out there and do all the things that we love to do. We've had a lot of downs during this last 12 months. 2020 has not been the easiest year. It's not been a prolific and positive year. But coming out of this, I hope you guys will take a minute and think about all the things that you want in the world. Think about the things you love, things about the things you don't love. Think about the things that you want and how you see your life moving forward. Hi folks, welcome back to my Mommy's Life channel, where I share with you guys my journey as a first-time mom, dentist, and business owner. If you guys are new to this channel, a big welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you guys because I have a big announcement, and that is myself, my team, in our office. We have been fortunate enough to be able to get our first COVID vaccine, and it was great. I feel a big sigh of relief because not only, do I feel great, I also feel hope. I feel like this is really the first step in moving forward in our lives. It's been months and months, this has been going on, and I think there's a lot of fear, lots of turmoil, lots of ups and downs, and some days, definitely it's worse than others. But having gotten this vaccine, and it was I got it right after New Year's, and it was just amazing. When I got that email that I could get one, I was very, very excited. So let me walk you guys through a little bit my experience with it. That's the first thing let's talk about. Here in Washington State, it seemed like a lot of the counties have their own system of distributing it, and that was the biggest challenge. I think the initial rollout was very, very difficult. There was not a lot of direct information about it. There was not a lot of instructions, directions. Communication wasn't quite there. I knew that the vaccine was out there, and I just started looking around, and I just happened to have come across somebody, a friend, that had mentioned Snohomish County, which is the county that we're in, was basically accepting forms that you could fill out, and if you qualify, if you meet the requirements of the different tier system. And if you guys don't know what the tier system is in your area, just look up the health department. You'll be able to find the rollout timeline, and you'll be able to see at what point you're expected to be able to get your vaccine. So I was able to fill out that form, and within about less than 24 hours, I got an email saying that I could fill out a list of everyone that I wanted to register to get the vaccine, and also their risk assessment. So you have to include the person's name, their risk assessment, and so they could determine if you qualify at this time to get the vaccine. So I filled that out, I turned it back in, and I got another follow-up email saying that I got these vouchers, and this voucher included a password and instructions on where to go to get this vaccine. We ended up going to the Everett Clinic, and it was a really, really smooth process. I'm not gonna lie, the whole time was a bit long. I think when I first heard about it, everybody was bombarding the clinic with emails and phone calls, and so it was a bit of a hold. Finally, when I got on the phone with somebody, I was able to make my appointment for just a couple days later. And when I went in, it was pretty good. They had an area where there was a sign that was for COVID vaccines, and so I went there. They took my temperature, I got a new mask on, and then I had to fill out a form with my information. And then they took me straight back to a room. I got my vaccination, which all took, less than a few minutes. After that, we all had to sit in chairs about 6 feet apart, and we just hung out for about 15 minutes to monitor to make sure we didn't have a reaction. And at that point, we were good to go. They let us go at that point. And they also sent me home with a take-home form with some of the common reactions that people might have, what's normal, what's not, when to contact your doctor. And then it also had a option to fill out something with the CDC online so that you can follow up with them, and they'll follow up with you in terms of any reactions that you had in the days and weeks following the vaccine. So they're tracking that data so that they know, what things are like. I can tell you that I had absolutely no problems. I felt great afterwards. The only thing that I noticed was the sore arm. The sore arm did go on for about 2 days, which is pretty common for me anyways with like a normal vaccine, so I wasn't alarmed. But otherwise I felt really good. So if you guys have questions about it, feel free to reach out. Send me messages down below in the comment section. I'd be happy to give you guys details about my experience so far with it. And I hope that this rollout will continue to get smoother and smoother as we progress through this, as more people get it. Hopefully they'll kind of work out some of those kinks, because it was a little bit tricky. There wasn't a lot of information at first. So I hope you guys all can get your vaccine soon, so that we can all move forward and continue to hustle, continue to get out there and do all the things that we love to do. Which brings me into part 2 of my video today. And that is to remind you guys that, we've had a lot of downs during this last 12 months. 2020 has not been the easiest year. It's not been the prolific and positive year. But coming out of this, I hope you guys will take a minute and think about all the things that you want in the world. Think about the things you love. Things about the things you don't love. Think about the things that you want and how you see your life moving forward. Because this is whenever there's a challenge, it's an opportunity to pivot. It's an opportunity to change course. It's almost like, most of us are constantly running the hamster wheel, right? We're just day in, day out doing the same thing. You don't really take a minute to think about am I still headed in the direction that I want to be going? So I hope that you guys take a moment, because of this, pandemic that we had to go through. Think about what you want in life. Sit down. When was the last time you sat down with a blank piece of paper or note in your phone and just jot down all the things that make you happy in life, where you see yourself, where you see yourself in your career, your jobs, your hobbies, pick up things that you've always wanted to do but you've never tried. Do you have that crazy idea that, you've told no one? Well, this is the time to put it out there. And like they say, if you want anything in life, you got to put it out in the universe. And until you do, nobody knows about it, and the chances of you finding it and getting it is very minimal. And so this is one thing that I learned, especially a very, very great example is, with my plants that I've been obsessing over, besides work, it's been my plants as I've been stuck at home so much, I've been looking for this one plant forever. I saw a picture of it on Instagram. I fell in love with it immediately, and I just loved it. And I wanted it so bad, and I couldn't find it anywhere. Nurseries, Etsy, I couldn't find it. And finally I was in this plant group, and I just put it out there. I put a note out there. I was like, hey, I'm in search of this plant. If you have one, if it's for sale, please reach out to me. And all of a sudden, all these people were tagging other friends that they knew who might have this plant. And, I was able to find this plant that I've been looking for months and months. And so that's just something very, very little, but this is true for your life and your goals. If you don't put out there that, hey, in the next 2 years, I see myself getting that promotion. In the next year, I am going to be, not renting anymore. I'm going to buy my first house. I'm going to be doing this, that, and the other. I'm going to run my first marathon. I encourage you guys to put it out there with a timeline and, reasonable expectations of how to get there. Because once you do, I don't know what it is, but the world just opens for you. And, I wasn't really much of a believer in that, but the more I do it, the more I realize, it does. Because as soon as you put it out there, somebody's going to hear about it. They're going to be like, hey, my friend, climbed Everest just a couple years ago, maybe you can talk to him about how he did it, what's the process. Or you just put out there, hey, I'm really looking for a house, I've been looking forever, I can't find it, I can't do it. And all of a sudden you tell someone, and then they're like, hey, I know an awesome realtor who just helped me close my house. Maybe give them a call. So for some reason, when you just put it out there along with your expectations, detail is important. You have to have details, how you're going to do it, and your timeline. It'll just happen. What you can't do is sit there and just hope that all the dreams and jewels are just going to fall into your lap. That's not how it works. You can't just dream of it in your head and just hope that you wake up one morning and it's gonna be there. That's not how it works. You're gonna have to put in the work. You gotta take those steps needed to make things happen. So I hope you guys find this video encouraging. There is hope, there's faith. Just have faith, continue to have faith. We will get out of this. And until we see each other again, I hope you guys continue to be kind to one another. Reach out and lend a hand when you can, and we'll see you next time. Bye.